Your spiritual beings having a human experience.
Spirit Bus fam, welcome. Thank you for being here. This is episode number 26. Again, I just want to start off with some just very authentic, just a lot of gratitude. I really appreciate you spending time, your valuable energy, kind of taking a step into my world. And I hope that there's something in this episode that is helpful or entertaining or anything positive that you get out of it. That's my intention. So, yes, number 26. So, I'm going to start just kind of a rewinding back into my life. I remember going to church, and you're like, oh no, hold up. She said the church word. No, just stick with me for a minute. So I remember going to church during my youth, and in the congregation, during the service, singing the songs. Now, they must have been repetitive songs because I had memorized the words, I knew the melody. I also stood still. Sorry, I was just checking my audio there. That got weird. Okay. So I also so I knew the melody. I was also standing still and kind of mimicked the role of, this is what somebody at church looks like. At the time, I truly did not know the depth of what I was singing. Again, we're going to take all opinions about religion for a moment and put them aside because that's not what this is about. It's not about religion. It's songs that were about love. They were about being kind. They were vibrating, with this integrity. And I was mimicking what it looked like to be there, but not truly understanding at a conscious level. Now, at a subconscious level, I'm pretty certain that the vibration, the energy, it was felt at a cellular level because I remember many times kind of almost feeling like this, like I was going to tear up, with this like really intense feeling. The language used in that world was, when people were filled with the Holy Spirit, when it really got into people, especially when they ran down the aisle, arms waving, just they were really in the moment. Like I could feel that. I could feel source. So fast forward, many versions of me later, I found myself in a very similar space, but not in church, in nature. So I'll feel a very similar surge of this joy, freedom, wonder, love. And sometimes I'll have the urge, I don't know if you can relate, to start dancing, to skip, to laugh, talk to some birds, talk to some trees. But often I don't. Why? So I wanted to just break that down. I am thinking that some people may resonate with this. And even if it's not exactly, they'll be able to identify how it resonates in their world. So again, let's break it down. Why? Why don't we see joy in people often? And when I feel joy, why do I diminish the expression? Okay, maybe because people are watching. So, what does that mean about me? Maybe I'll look insane. I'll look crazy. These are words that the collective often uses for people that are not fitting into society norms. So, what does that matter? Is that fearful of being judged, perceived in a negative light? Would this be a fear by somebody I know? Not really. The people I know already know I'm weird. They're cool with it. So, by a person I don't know, or someone I kind of know that then talks to someone else and it gets all gossipy. So, it's like, it's interesting. What would it look like if we were not afraid to show the expression of joy inside and outside of our homes? I don't know if I have shared this memory, but it's a special one for me. So I just flashed on this memory. I was out and about one day, on one of our main roads here, and there was this young man rollerblading down the street. Now he wasn't just like a regular rollerblading. He had his headphones in, and at least I think he had headphones in. Again, that assumption, maybe there were no headphones. I don't know. I assumed that there was music because he was dancing while he was rollerblading and he was smiling. And I'll never forget that feeling because it sparked that similar feeling in me that I had in that church service. There was this vibration to it, this vibration of joy. So I invite you to take a look, at what your expressions of joy, or, enter another word other than joy if you need to, happiness, excitement, get creative with that. And do you suppress it? How do you show this emotion? Like, what is your happy dance? I'm kind of doing a little jig right now. What's your happy dance? What's your joyful laugh sound like? See, the thing is that trauma survivors often have a difficult time expressing and experiencing positive emotions, especially the big ones. Persistent inability to experience positive emotions is the exact verbatim symptom, one of them, of PTSD. Another persistent negative emotional state. Doesn't mean you're a negative person. It means that the emotions of joy, amazement, wonder, etc., they weren't safe emotions for you at some point in your earth experience, that you struggle to tap into them now. So maybe it was a really big trauma, or maybe it was complex trauma. There were so many adverse experiences that it's hard to pinpoint just one or the origins of it. And it could be conditioning. Sit down. Don't wiggle. You need to put that joy away right now. It is inappropriate time for you to feel that. You can't trust yourself. You think you should be laughing right now. You want to move your body. Wrong. Can't you be like Sally? She sits so quiet and follows all the rules. So, as a community, what would it feel like to see each other joyous and to feel safe to express it ourselves? At first, if you think about it, that might feel a little uneasy. I personally love, love, love my homies that when I see them, we get excited. We get joyous to see one another. I just had a lunch with this fierce earth warrior. And we like not like a full blown like sweating run, but we're running to see each other, like to give each other like a big hug, smiles. Like we're just so excited, even if it was just for a brief interaction. And that's some really, really sacred shit right there, because we have collectively, we've had the joy sucked out of us. So it's so, so sacred when we find it, when we feel it. Not the medicated joy. I'm not talking about a substance induced state of joy. I'm talking about the pure consciousness interactions with other people, with nature, with yourself, just this pure energetic space. Jill Kim's self-love deck, I see beauty everywhere, was one of her cards. I know we collectively have a lot going on right now. I'm not going to list it all. You're all having this earth experience right now too. So whatever your world is tapped into the collective world. And so we have a lot going on right now. So again, take all of that, put that to the side. Fam, go look at the nearest tree. Literally, if you have to pause this right now, like pause it, walk outside, or I don't know, maybe you're balling and you got a tree inside. I don't know. But go really look at a tree or just a leaf, a flower, feel the wind, look at a squirrel. Whatever ignites that joy is, if you need to pause it and go do it right now, do it. Because you might get wrapped up in something else. You may get scrolling, or you may get distracted, or maybe you have things that you need to do, on this Saturday. But, if you need to pause it and come back and listen to me later, go find that. And then when you're done with that, take a look in the mirror. Like, look at yourself. Like, what a fucking miracle. You are a consciousness in a human avatar. What an experience. And if your mind is taking you to negative places right now, just observe. Watch it float by. You don't need to wrap yourself up in it. You don't need to get cozy with it. Like, just let it go. It's time to rewire your brain so that you can see the beauty inside and outside, so you can see how truly beautiful you are. And then you can learn to express it. I don't know about you, but I'm on a mission. I am like exposing myself to more and more public expressions of joy. Sometimes I will really invite myself to smile the entire time I am grocery shopping. And okay, so we could say why? Well, I have money to buy groceries. That's something to smile about. There's a grocery store here. And I like the design of those little shopping carts, the little ones, the not the big bulky ones, but like those little ones, like those are pretty dope. So like there's lots to be grateful for in just that one activity. I'm also really trying to practice saying, eye contact when I'm on my morning walks, is to say Grand Rising, with a smile. Because that's what I'm aligned with, instead of saying, good morning. And that's just my own deep dive on the English language. I don't want to use the word morning. I'm not in mourning. I'm in grand rising. Like I'm joyous. And I want to try to have that interaction, not in such an abrupt way that it might scare someone, but to where I'm not diminishing my joyous energy at that moment. When that fearful judgment comes trickling up, I know it's a part of me. It's a part of me. And I can release it. Sanaya Roman, Personal Power Through Awareness, still drawing there. Many of you constantly feel you're actors on a stage with everybody watching and judging you. But it is only you that has put yourself on a stage, watching, observing, and judging. Oh shit. She goes on to say, when you judge others, you feel your own shadow and bring into yourself the negative energy that you're judging with. To see energy clearly is to leave behind right, wrong judgments. If you need to rewind and listen to that again, is that a lot of times we're really thinking that people are thinking about us. That me complex. What would they think about me? They must be looking at me. So if I'm fearful of being judged, I'm also judging without knowing it at times. I'm assuming that the person is judging me. I'm judging them, which there may not even be any truth to that. So if I'm frolicking in some way with joy, in some expression of joy, and someone comes up to me and says, I'm judging you. Okay. So then I know that I'm being judged. A face expression, anything else like that, it's all an interpretation and an opportunity to stay outside of the judging mind. It's an opportunity to keep aligned with my own energy expression at all times. At all times that I'm aware. Because I'll slip out of awareness. We all slip out of awareness. And then we learn. And then we evolve and we do it again. And then we do it again with a better understanding. To draw from the 4 agreements, Don Miguel Ruiz, don't take anything personally. He shares, nothing other people do is because of you. It is because of themselves. All people live in their own dream, in their own mind. They are in a completely different world from the one we live in. When we take something personal, we make the assumptions that they know what is in our world, and we try to impose our world on their world. Juicy, juicy, juicy. With that being said, let's decorate our own worlds the way that we feel aligned. Let's practice being present with ourselves so that we don't shrink our joyful expressions, our joyful emotions, down to like this dull shine. Let's figure out what our at-home happy dance is and maybe our outside happy dance. As always, if you are still here, thank you. Thanks for taking this little ride with me. Thank you for visiting my world. And feel free to leave a comment so that I can experience your world too. I don't often know who is watching my videos. I'm shuffling this to get a reading here. Don't often know who is, and so when there is a comment, that's a really cool thing to experience. And I'm not sure, I'm still learning YouTube, and so I always respond to the comment, and then it kind of on my end goes away, but I'm hoping that on your end it doesn't. But yeah, it's just At some point, I'm going to, read something about YouTube. I don't know. Okay, so the Osho deck, first 3 cards. Okay, and then the Conversations with Souls. Okay, some repetition. All right, first card from the Osho deck is Abundance. I love that card. So this card really talks about that we are really moving in a state of being that is calling in abundance in all life domains. And of course this does include monetary abundance, but because of the topic that we have been discussing, joy is abundance. It is. Think about the vibration of joy, happiness, excitement. It doesn't even need to be to that degree. It can just be calm. It can be, these states of being that are they're so abundant. And when we're moving in those, second card, consciousness, when we're moving in that state of abundance, it is really tuning into our, divine consciousness. We're stepping out of this, conditioned human responses, these trauma responses, these learned responses here. And we're really leading with our true consciousness. A third card is postponement. So, if you're saying tomorrow I'll be happy, tomorrow I'm going to do the thing that makes me happy. And then tomorrow comes and you're like, oh, you know what? I have laundry. I have this, I have that, I have this. Whatever it is, if you're postponing something that is good for you, is healthy for you, brings you joy, brings you excitement, is a part of something you want to experience here, is it's time to take action on that. Just like I was talking about for myself, was starting to give myself some exposure to showing positive emotions in public more. Enough postponement of it. It's time. And the Conversations with Soul. Do not isolate from the world. Your soul family awaits you. This has been a repetitive card. So when we're not going out, we're not expressing, let's just say again, joy and happiness and these emotions, we don't know. We're completely not connecting possibly to the people that speak our language, that we would vibe with. Because that if you say, let's just say I'm going to use my own language. If I'm like Grand Rising and someone says that back to me, for me, there's Grand Rising is like, you've been down some rabbit holes there. Oh, wait, I forgot. We don't go down the rabbit holes anymore. Remember, we peer in and we go through some gates. But you've done some kind of thought process on words, or it ties into some spiritual something or another, or you're just a little odd like me. That's good. So we do not need to isolate our weirdness, our eccentricness. It's needed. It's needed. Until next time, I appreciate you. Appreciate you very much. Thank you.
Thank you for tuning in. We are spiritual beings having a human experience.